Hey guys, welcome to my couch. So, I am on video now to talk about a topic that I have never filmed myself talking about, and it is about the twin flame journey. So, why do I feel like this topic is important for me to talk about right now? Because I recently had a universal sign that acknowledged for me that my twin flame was listening, and it was so cool, and I felt inclined to bring it up to you guys. So for the last couple of years, I say the last like 3 years now, I have felt very strongly that I am on a twin flame journey. Now, for individuals who are unaware of what that means, that basically to me means that on earth, one soul has been divided into two opposite polarities, masculine, feminine energy, and the intention of which I believe often gets misconstrued because people believe that twin flames often reflect this like love, um, this grand romantic relationship. A twin flame journey is mostly, to me, about internal healing, self awareness, collective understanding, and the greater good of the collective consciousness. So, when each of those halves can find that ground centered state of being, that healed essence, romantic love can come. Those two twins, those two halves can come together, but that's ultimately not the goal. The goal is greater awareness for self and for the collective consciousness. So I have always had this like intuitive knowing that I am on the journey. I actually had an experience a while back where I had a quantum hypnosis therapy session with an individual trained by Dolores Cannon. And through that engagement, I asked my higher self whether or not I was on a twin flame journey. And according to my higher self, I am. I mean, obviously, at this stage in my journey, I don't know definitively, right? Like, we can allow our ego to get in the way of what we know intuitively. And I have absolutely had that happen innumerable times. Like, it's just plain and simple. It's so easy to have the ego get in the way. But this experience and this journey started when I actually met someone who triggered the thought. The individual, I believed, was literally like me in a man. And I had never met anybody like that before. I was like, holy shit, like I'm literally looking at myself. And I started looking into what that means. Like, what does it mean to witness you outside of you? And so that's when twin flames started coming up. But what I learned on my journey is that that particular person actually was a mirrored soul, at least I believe to be. And he acted as a catalyst for me to find greater accomplishment within my own life. So it set me on a pathway to, finding greatness for myself, which is amazing and absolutely necessary. I imagine that you guys are also having experiences with different people who act as mirrors to you, who, there's all these different naming conventions like karmic relationships, soul mates, twin flames, so on and so forth. But that engagement with that person led me down a pathway of, okay, if this is coming up in my experience. There is meaning to this. And so because I'm learning about it, there has to be some validity to what's happening here. Fast forward, I do truly believe that I have met now the individual who I believe is in fact my twin. We came together at a stage in both of our lives where healing was still required. And I believe that the universe brought us together in order to, again, act as a catalyst for that healing to take place. So that particular person had a slew of things that needed to be worked through and healed that were different from what I needed to heal. But what was interesting for me was that really did act as a catalyst for me to start looking inwardly even more. So I believed up to that point I had been doing my, self-reflection, my healing, but I was still experiencing patterns in my relationships, whether it's romantic relationships or platonic friendships, that were consistent. And so from that engagement, I actually started going to therapy, not only because of these meetings. I mean, my father had passed away. I felt very inclined to work through whatever it was that I needed to help me heal. And so that really was beneficial to me because I did start healing through a lot of the stuff that I didn't even realize was a part of what was happening internally, right? Like, I think sometimes we behave in certain ways and we continually behave in those ways, and like we're aware that we're doing it, but we don't necessarily know even consciously why. And so getting down to the subconscious level and healing that can really be beneficial. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I had an experience where I was listening to a spiritual YouTube channel, and it made me want to reach out energetically to my twin. And in that moment, I said aloud, I love you. And that I acknowledged that I loved him at the time that we knew one another, but that love remained. And I still feel love for that person, which ultimately I think that's what this is all about, is just love, regardless. Like, it's, again, not about a romantic connection. Two souls might never come together. Even if you are on a twin flame journey, everything about this experience boils down to just loving one another and being there for one another and respecting and appreciating one another. And when I gave that acknowledgement, it was miraculous to me, because I look in front of me, I'm driving in the car, and I look in front of me and to the left, and I see a license plate that has the number 3337 on it. And for anyone who doesn't know about angel numbers, the number 333 is a sign that the divine masters are around. And also the number 337 was my acknowledgement about this particular person. That was a sign that he would always get. And so it was fucking comical to me that, like, at that moment I would be saying that, and then basically his higher self was acknowledging and speaking back to me, saying it back to me. I could sound fucking loopy, I could sound crazy. Everybody has their own experiences, and the whole point about sharing this message isn't for you to like believe anything that I'm saying. I think the whole point is to just acknowledge that this stuff happens and that the universe, again, speaks to us. And we're always getting signs no matter what. This isn't about romantic love. It's not about people coming together. It's about witnessing what it is that's happening within ourselves and around us, and allowing that to be the way that we live life. Because when we can live from that space, it's truly remarkable. It is magic. It's magic on earth. So if you take anything from this message, know that, like, I am being vulnerable and expressing something that truly is a unique thing for me. And I want to document it today as well. Like, at this season of my life, I am acknowledging that I am on a twin flame journey, and I'm acknowledging it publicly. And no matter what, the journey is never about anybody other than myself. And if you guys are on a twin flame journey, remember that, again, it has nothing to do with another being. All of this has to do with us. How can we heal our internal states? And then how can that healing of our internal state heal the collective? I love you guys. God bless you.